The United States may have begun evacuating its aerial refueling tanker fleet from Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, moving the aircraft to bases in Europe following a night of intense attacks on the facility. The tankers, KC-135 Stratotankers and KC-46A Pegasus aircraft had been operating out of the base in Al-Kharj, roughly 60 kilometers south of Riyadh, to support U.S. bombing operations against Iran since the conflict began on February 28th. The tankers are reported to have been flown to bases in Europe, placing them out of range of the missile and drone threats that have targeted U.S. installations across the Gulf region in recent days. At peak deployment, the base was hosting 16 KC-135 Stratotankers and 6 KC-46A Pegasus tankers, alongside E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft and other surveillance platforms. Without aerial refueling support, the sustained tempo of U.S. strike missions deep into Iranian territory becomes significantly harder to maintain. The evacuation marks a notable shift. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Defense had previously announced the interception of a ballistic missile fired in the direction of Prince Sultan Air Base, which fell in an uninhabited area. But sustained targeting of the base likely prompted a decision to remove high-value assets entirely, rather than risk their destruction on the ground. Several U.S. bases have been hit by Iranian attacks since the beginning of hostilities, significantly affecting the American forces' capabilities in the region.
Iran is reportedly inflicting heavy damage on the United States military might as the war in the Middle East escalates. Satellite images have shown that several U.S. military radars in the UAE and Jordan have been hit by Iranian missiles and drones. New images from several military installations across the Arabian Peninsula have claimed that Tehran focused on disabling the radar infrastructure that forms the backbone of U.S.-supplied missile systems. According to Iran-based Press TV report, one such radar, supporting the American THAAD missile battery system at Jordan's Muwafaq Salti Air Base, was reportedly hit and destroyed in the opening days of the war. According to the Press TV report, the base lies more than 500 miles from Iran, underscoring the reach of Tehran's retaliatory operations. According to the report, satellite images showed that the buildings housing the U.S. radar-related infrastructure were struck near Ruwais and Sadar between February 28th and March 1st. At least 3 radar structures in Ruwais and 4 in Sadar were damaged, including the pull-through vehicle sheds typically used to store radar systems linked to the THAAD batteries. The radar is considered a critical element of the high-end missile interceptor system, enabling the detection and tracking of incoming ballistic missiles and drones. Iran's Islamic Revolution Guards Corps, IRGC, earlier said such strikes were part of its expanding Operation True Promise 4, a campaign launched in retaliation for what it alleged an unprovoked U.S.-Israeli aggression.
The Middle East war has reached a dangerous stage, and Iran has warned that it could be worse. A senior Iranian military official has now warned that the next wave of attacks on Israel and the US targets will be stronger, wider, and more relentless. Lieutenant Colonel Ibrahim Zulfikari, spokesperson for the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, alleged that Israel attempted to hide its military resources among civilian areas, but the Iranian forces are continuing to locate and strike them. The Iranian military official said, and I quote, "The cowardly military forces and facilities of the Zionist regime have hidden in civilian and public layers, but the detection and striking of the aggressors will continue, and in the coming days the trend of attacks will become more intense and widespread." Zulfikari claimed that the Iranian air defenses on Thursday intercepted and destroyed several advanced enemy aircraft over several regions of the country. However, no proof has been cited. The Iranian military official claimed that one F-35 fighter jet and a total of 4 advanced reconnaissance combat drones, Hermes 900 and MQ-9, in the skies over the western, southwestern and southern regions of our country were shot down. The US has denied any loss of the fighter aircraft. Israeli airstrikes pounded the capitals of Iran and Lebanon on Friday. The US is said to have struck an Iranian drone carrier at sea in its unrelenting campaign against the Islamic Republic's fleet of warships. Iran launched new retaliatory attacks in the Middle East at the end of a full week of bombardment.
The Admiral knows we have clear objectives with maximum authorities on the battlefield. The dumb, politically correct wars of the past were the opposite of what we're doing here. They had vague objectives with restrictive, minimalist rules of engagement. No more. Our authorities, his authorities, CENTCOM's authorities through the President and myself are maxed out. Our capabilities are overwhelming and gathering still, as are those of our Israeli partners. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad, which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control. As long as it takes to ensure the United States of America achieves these objectives, and as we flow more forces, and as we flow more capabilities, and as our munitions, as we're flying over the top, have even more devastating effects, we set the tempo, we set the timeline, led by the commander on the ground.
Ballistic missile attacks have decreased by 90% since day one. Drone attacks have decreased by 83% since day one. Having said this, we remain vigilant. Our strikes against the Iranian Navy have intensified. You may have heard the President say just a little while ago that we have sunk or destroyed 24 ships. That was true at the moment. We're now up over 30 ships. And in just the last few hours, we hit an Iranian drone carrier ship, roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier, and as we speak, it's on fire. The President gave us another task, to raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industrial base. So we're not just hitting what they have, we're destroying their ability to rebuild. And so as we transition to the next phase of this operation, we will systemically dismantle Iran's missile production capability for the future, and that's absolutely in progress. I'd also just double down on the President's comments that he previously made to the people. Stay in your homes, keep things calm, stay out of the way. There's a lot of U.S. and Israeli capacity coming over. We're hitting a lot of targets. The best thing for them to do for right now is just to lay low.
However, the Trump administration officials have conceded the capabilities of Iranian Shahid attack drones in the ongoing conflict.